Well, I can't wait for my son to come home so I can tell him that he was right. I had my doubts, but I actually kind of like that color. And that is the fluorescent orange, Tamiya fluorescent orange. And put a couple of coats on it. Now, it's not just that. I went over it with some, it's a clear, it's like a marble clear coat. And I just barely spritzed it with that. It just gives it a little bit of a sparkle, flaky kind of shimmer, I guess. I don't know if the video is going to pick it up that well or not. And then I went over it with a couple of coats of just a clear coat, just a high gloss clear coat. The white stripes, those are actually, I fully intended on painting those, but I forgot I had this stuff, trim tape. It's just pill and stick. It comes in various widths, and peel it off and stick it on. Now for my son and I to just bash this around the backyard, it's perfectly good enough. If I was making this for a customer who was actually paying me money to do it, yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. I would have masked it off and airbrushed the whole thing. Made it look a little bit nicer. But for just playing around, I mean, this thing's going to get beat up, I'm sure. But that worked pretty good. See the engine back there? Now before I drive it around, I have to attach the engine either to the body or to the chassis. Probably I'll probably bond it onto the body. And I still need to, well, I've got a driver figure I can put in there. So I'll probably put the driver in it. And a windshield. And also, as you can see through that window, that is a Tamiya connector. I've been having problems with some of the Tamiya connectors on my batteries. So I went to the local hobby shop yesterday and I picked up a whole bunch of the Dean's connectors, the Dean's plugs. So I'm going to replace all of my Tamiya connectors on all my batteries, all my cars, all my chargers with Dean's connectors. And hopefully that will fix a lot of my problems I've been having. So the paint is still, or the clear coat is still not dry to the touch yet. Well, maybe dry to the touch, but it's definitely not cured. I don't want to touch it till tomorrow. And I'm going to have to drill some holes in these two for the locking pins, for the little clips, whatever they're called. And then it should be ready to run, ready to test drive. I got an app on my phone for checking speed, monitoring top speed and average speed. So I'll make a little box to put the phone in so it doesn't get destroyed if I wreck the car, because I'm really curious to see how fast it goes. I also have a one of those old vintage Tamiya grasshoppers, and I'll race it against that and I'll check the speed of the grasshopper, and we'll see which one's better. Now, if the performance is as disappointing as I'm kind of thinking it might be, like I said, I'm not too thrilled about the motor and the speed controller that's in it. If it's no good, then I may upgrade to brushless, or I might find a used Traxxas brushed motor and speed controller. They go on eBay for fairly cheap. So the striping was my son's idea. I asked him how he wanted it painted. He said orange with 2 white stripes. He specified a thicker stripe and a thinner stripe and offset to the right. So hopefully that is up to his standards. We'll find out when he gets home. So like I said, I got a little bit more work to do. I got to replace the plugs. I know I'm repeating myself, but the next step is to, like I said, do that. And then hopefully, if this weekend is halfway nice, I'll go out somewhere where I can drive it around and see how it does.
Yeah, it's kind of slow.
Okay, this one has my phone in it, so we can get a top speed, which I should have done first where the battery is fresh, because I could tell it was already slowing down. But let's try this one. Way too slow. Ah, it's done. That battery's already done.
It is?
Yep, it's done.
Seriously?
Yeah, I thought it was too slow. I mean, it was only charging for 7 hours. Okay, so that had a top speed of 8 miles an hour, which is very disappointing. But I think I'll try a new battery first before I replace the motor. But let's see what the grasshopper does. All right, here's the grasshopper. Whenever you're ready, good. Yeah, that's much better. All right, bring it back. I'll put my speedometer in it. Well, don't flip it over. Okay, so hold on, bring it back. All right, well, I put my phone in a high-tech safety device, so if he crashes it, hopefully my phone will be safe. All right, whenever you're ready, don't flip it over. Just go straight. All right, go. Full speed. All right, stop. All right, bring it back. Ah! I hope my phone's okay. All right, that's more like it. 24 miles an hour. That's a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the battery out of the grasshopper. I'll put it in the orange bug, and we'll see if it makes any difference at all. If there's no difference, then I'll replace the motor and speed controller in the bug and then see what it does. And my phone is still intact, so my son's not in trouble. This is a second attempt with this one with the battery from the grasshopper. My son's behind the wheel again, so whenever you're ready, give her all she's got. That's better. All right, bring her back. Stop. All right, let's see what the speed is. Well, it's better than it was, but 12 miles an hour versus 8, which is still, half the speed of this grasshopper. So I may be looking into a different motor and speed controller for that thing. So towards the end of the day, it was really starting to smell like something was burning. The motor was getting really warm. The speed controller not so much, but it was definitely smelling burnt hot, and it wouldn't go in reverse very well at all. So I may be replacing that. I never did drill the holes in there for the clips. As you might have seen from the video, I just used a rubber band wrapped around to hold the body on. I did put some screws right in here to hold those on. And here's the body with the windshield. Windshield just got screwed in. The driver figure there, I just glued him in loosely so I could pop him out if I didn't like him in there. And also with the paint, I said marble clear. It was actually this. It's pearl mist, Rust-Oleum pearl mist. That's what I went over the orange with. And again, just a very light spritz of it. You don't want to go too heavy with that, or it'll almost completely cover the normal color. So anyways, I'm trying to decide if I want to replace that with brushless, or if I want to get a used Traxxas motor speed controller set up on eBay. There's one on there now for 25 bucks. I think it's a pretty good deal. But I've also seen some brushless combos for 40 or 50. So trying to decide what I want. When I change that, maybe I'll put out another video to show the difference. But until then, this will be the end of this project. So thanks for watching.